Alright, this is chapter 3 of the textbook and level 3 within chapter 3, so chapter 3 level 3, and we're going to open up Consumer Purchases L3 Start, which is basically a continuation of the previous levels, and this is an accumulation of what they are. There's a couple of additions onto the bottom here. We've got the footwear market share tab down here, and we got dashboard chart. We're not going to use the dashboard chart in this series of videos or even the lessons in class. Dashboard is something that I don't want to talk about and do. Footwear we are going to do. And before we get on to anything else, we're going to look at the consumer equipment purchases that we looked at in the previous video. And in particular, this is the one where we did the pie of the pie, and we learned about sorting the data and how you have to highlight everything and then select the column that you want to sort by so that the data integrity is maintained. So what I'm going to do is here I'm going to add or select the first 8 columns here, something like that. So there's the first 8 columns like this, from exercise down to golf, and I'm just going to show you another way of depicting the data, and that's called using radar. And so if I click the first 8, I'm going to go Insert, and then I'm going to go to Recommended Charts, and then I'm going to go to All Charts, and then I'm going down to where it says Radar right here, and then I'm going to click the first one on the list, this one right here. I click OK, and then up comes the radar depiction here. And if you take a look at this radar here, this is what it looks like. Basically, each of the categories is around the edge of this what looks like a spider's web or a radar bleeping system. And you'll see the exercise is high here at around 5,000. Then golf is lower at around the 2,500 mark, or maybe not, maybe around between 3 and 5,000, 3 and 3,500, something like that. And so that's another way of depicting the actual way that these categories compare to each other. I myself don't like this way of doing it. I think it's a bit confusing and it requires some practice to learn how to use this. So I'm not going to ask you to get involved with that. I just wanted to show you that this is a capability that you do have available in Excel. So I'm going to delete this entire chart. Okay, let's move on now to the footwear market share tab here. And what I want to highlight here is the fact that we've got data that's in 3 dimensions here. I've got styles of running shoes right here. You see that there, 4 styles, and there are 22 styles for the first one, the running shoe, 28 for the basketball, etc. And the sales for each one of these is depicted here. That's represented probably in millions of dollars. And then the market share of the running shoes basis compared to the competition. So how do we depict all that data in one particular graph for information purposes? So I'm going to highlight all the data here, and I'm going to insert a 3-dimensional column chart. So I'm going to go to Recommended Charts here. I'm going to go to All Charts. I'm in Column here. I go to the far right, and you'll see 3D column, and I click it, and then I click OK. And here is our 3D column chart. Now, one of the things we have to take a look at here is, does this make any sense, and is it informative to the reader? And you can notice almost immediately that the sales, which is on the z-axis, you'll see how it's all been set up here. We've got the categories along the front, the running shoe, etc. And then we've got the sales on the y-axis here, and then the z-axis is the other stuff. And we can see that we've got sales running the show in terms of what the axis is, all right, in terms of the values. And then these styles are negligible. You can't see anything here. Remember, there was 22 styles right there. You see that? 22 styles of running shoes right here. 28 styles of basketball, etc., all the way across. And then the market share, which is hiding in the back here, 5% for the running shoe, 9%. And these are just blobs, right? They're not really columns, because the sales one is taking the lion's share of notification as to what the scaling is going to be. So this is not a very good way of depicting the 3 sets of data that we want to show here. So I'm going to delete it. And so I'm going to use a different type of system called the bubble chart. I'm going to click on Insert here, recommended charts. I'm going down to the bottom here, and there's the bubble chart. So I'm going to click it, and then click OK. Now bubble charts are also available in the pie chart area if you needed to find it that way. I'm just going to get rid of this top button here so we can see stuff a bit more. There we go. And you'll notice in this chart here that we have along the bottom, we have the number of styles. We have the sales across the y-axis, but we don't have a z-axis in the way that I showed you in the previous one. Instead, we have these balls. And each one of these balls represents the market share. All right, so if I took this out the way a little bit, you'll notice that the market share 5, 9, 11, and 5, 3, all right, depicts whatever this is sitting here. Okay, so I don't know what this is. Like, I don't know if this is running shoes. I don't know if this is basketball, cross trainers. I don't know the answer to that. All right, so we're gonna add descriptors onto these circles. The first thing we're going to do, however, though, is we're going to add the axis titles. All right, so just checkbox this here. It shows up here, and I'm going to put down styles as the y-axis, and then on this one here, this is going to be depicted as sales. All right, so I just type backwards here or sideways, sales in millions of dollars. And then here's the challenge. How do I determine what is on this series here? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to press the plus sign. I'm going to go to data labels, arrow, more options. Okay, and then I want to take away the Y and take away the leader lines. Now you shouldn't do that first, because if you do that, this entire dialog box goes away. You should do that afterwards. And what I'm going to do first, though, is I'm going to do value from cells. Okay, and basically I want to tell the system what I want noted on these circles. And so the answer is I want to use A4. You'll see this dialog box saying where's the data from. It's going to be A4 all the way down to A7. And you'll notice how that's depicted now in the dialog box here. Then I click OK. And it comes back and says, okay, this one here is tennis balls. This one's here is going to be cross trainer. This one here is running shoes. And this one here is basketball. Okay, you've got leader lines showing and you've got numbers. So I want to get rid of the Y, and I want to get rid of the Y value, meaning the one on the left here, and the leader lines, the pointers. Okay, and so then I click this again, and it's still showing it. Damn it. Okay, this one does not show basketball. That's interesting. See how I've got the basketball values went away, unless it's hidden down below here. Nope. So plus sign again. Data labels. More options. Okay, I'm going to try it again. I'm going to get rid of all this stuff. Oh, you see what happened there. But okay, I'm going to get rid of them all. Deleting, deleting, deleting. Value from cells. I'm going to select the range again. There's my range. Click OK. Okay, I'll get rid of this tennis one. I'm making a mess of this, aren't I? Touch this. Plus. Data labels. More options. I don't want to get rid of that Y stuff, so I'm going to get rid of it. Well, because this is here, that's okay. There we go. See how I got rid of the X and everything went away here? Okay, one more time. This is real-time thinking here. Plus, data labels, more options. I want to do value from cells, alright, so select the range. I want to select this range here. Okay, and then click OK. Alright, but I don't want the Y values, so I'm undoing that. And now they go away. Alright, you see what I was up against there, but Microsoft in its way sort of bamboozled me there. So there's tennis, there's your CrossFit, And there's your running shoe, and there's your basketball. And so what that showed was, basically what I was doing is trying to do was label these circles here in order to show you what the market share was for each one of them. So tennis, if I get this out of the way here, tennis is 5%. It has 5.3%, and it has 9 odd styles and sales of around 15,000. All right. CrossFit trainers, that was the next one, 17. So the middle of the circle, around 17 at the bottom. Middle of the circle over to the left, you see 25.9, or around 26,000. And that has around 11% of the market share. All right, so that's bubble charts. I want to show you how they can depict kind of a three-dimensional setting. And that's it for level 3. Thank you very much.